Coming up, we're going to be talking about Harrison Ford joining the MCU, my first thoughts on Star Wars, Tales of the Jedi, and much more. But before we get into any of that, make sure you do hit that subscribe button to keep up with the latest Disney Plus news. Hi everyone, it's Roger here from What's On at DisneyPlus.com. It's Tuesday, it's time for your quick Disney Plus news roundup. Let's start off with Harrison Ford, who has been confirmed by all the trades to be joining the MCU, where he's going to be playing Thunderbolt Ross. So he's going to be making his debut in Captain America New World Order, which is going to be coming to cinemas in 2024. So this one is kind of like the follow-on from the Falcon and the Winter Soldier Disney Plus series with Captain America. It's also going to have the leader in there. So I don't know if like She-Hulk might appear in it as well. It's also been confirmed as well then that Thunderbolt Ross will then appear in the Thunderbolts film, which is coming out later that year, which is going to bring together all of the villains, many of which have been introduced in the Disney Plus series. So this one's definitely good. It's nice to finally have this one kind of confirmed by the big trades. It was out last week. We did talk about it on this week's podcast, but now it's pretty much out there. I think this is a great move. I think Marvel does need to just do recastings. You know, if someone leaves the role, or unfortunately if someone does pass away, which was what happened here with William Hurt, who played it in the previous movies. I think just characters as a whole, they need to keep going on because the MCU's just got so big. But I think this one's going to be good. Him playing a grumpy old man definitely seems to be in keeping with it. And yeah, just joining in with this, I think is pretty good. And also, with them doing this, they can kind of use him for maybe years to come, because if he does become Red Hulk, then they can just do all like the CGI stuff and he can kind of just do the voice acting. So I think this one's good. Love Harrison Ford, he is fantastic. But let me know what you think of this in the comments below. We've also got our first look at a brand new film called Darby and the Dead, which is going to be coming to Disney streaming services around the world in December. So it'll be arriving on Hulu in the United States and on Disney Plus around the world. It was previously called Darby Harper Wants You to Know, and it tells the story of Darby Harper, who after suffering a near-death experience as a child is granted the ability to see ghosts. To combat the boredom of high school, she runs a side business counselling local spirits in her spare time. When an unexpected occurrence happens between Darby and Caprini, the most popular girl at school, Darby reluctantly agrees to help her and in the process learns how to fit in with the living world again. So we got this first look. I think this one looks pretty interesting. I always like the way really with Disney doing these 20th Century Studio releases on Disney Plus and on Hulu. I think it's a great way of kind of doing lower budget films and letting them get seen by as many people as possible. Hopefully we have some official details on this film pretty soon, but I'm looking forward to it. Let me know what you think in the comments below. The next big Star Wars release is coming up later this month on October the 26th is a brand new series called Tale of the Jedi, which is 6 shorts. I've got to see the first 6 episodes. I can't give my full review until when they come out, but I can tell you the artwork looks amazing. I really enjoyed them, especially the ones with Count Dooku, because there's 3 with Count Dooku, 3 with Ahsoka, and they're kind of set around a period just before and during the prequel era. Some of them happen a little bit before it, some of them happen kind of in it. There's actually even a couple that actually take place during the events of some of the prequel films. Really good, a very much more a darker, deeper tone. There's no humor at all. These are all very serious. I think it's a fantastic way. They're around about 10 to 15 minutes each. But yeah, can't wait for everyone to see this one. If you're a Star Wars fan and if you liked like Clone Wars, you're going to love this series. It seems a little bit more serious, and I'm really hoping we see a lot more of these in the future, because this just opens up Star Wars to so many different things. But so there's that one. Also, with it being Tuesday, let's talk about some new releases. So in the US and in Canada, there's a new episode of Dancing with the Stars tonight. There's a double episode this week. So if you're a fan of that show, you want to check that one out when it airs later today. Also internationally on Disney Plus in Australia, New Zealand and in Canada, they got a number of new episodes of The Patient along with Reboot and Reasonable Doubt. So lots of great stuff there to be looking forward to. But let me know if you're going to be watching any of that on Disney Plus today. Love to hear your thoughts. Again, not sure why like the UK and Europe aren't getting any of those shows. I'm sure they'll turn up at some point. But anyway, guys, thanks very much for watching. Make sure you go check us out over at whatsondisneyplus.com. Like, follow and subscribe, and I shall see you guys soon. Laters. Thank you very much for watching this video. Make sure you go check us out over at whatsondisneyplus.com. Like, follow and subscribe. Also a huge thank you to all of our supporters over on Patreon and also on our YouTube channel memberships. And I shall see you guys in another video. Laters.